Be picky about people, please. That is our topic for day 22 of Vlog Every Day in August. Thanks for being here. And finally, you have me back. It's been several days, but I have been doing videos, and I noticed that not a lot of you looked at those videos from when I went to my niece's wedding, because the views are quite a bit lower than the videos where I'm here talking to you. So go check out those videos, because I did put those on my channel because they are real vlogs about my life and what I do. And it's not very often that I am with my family, so you get to see me with my family. And it was a beautiful wedding as well. So yeah, make sure you check out those vlogs, okay? One of them is called S'more Wedding Favors plus Sisters and Me, or something like that. And the other one is something about my niece's wedding. So check them out, because you'll see me there with some of my sisters, and it's just a nice thing to look at. So I've been super busy, as you know. Traveled to California, so as you see, my surroundings are different. I'm staying in an Airbnb. I am here teaching light activation healing, which I happen to have founded, by the way. And I will be sharing some pictures from that class at some point. I will do one of my vlogs with pictures from that class. I was actually going to do it today, but I actually have 5 more days to teach, so might as well collect more and come live for you to talk to you and give you an update. So since I landed here, let's see, today's the 22nd, I got here on the 18th. I have been so busy the whole time, day and night, day and night, day and night. But, so that's why I haven't been very available. But I will talk about a subject today, which is picky about people, because this has been coming up for me, and I have spoken to some of my close friends about it. I'm from this area, actually, so I'm also working with my close friends as well that I don't get to see unless I'm traveling on a spiritual journey or coming here to teach light activation healing. So it's kind of cool, because like, you know, I came home and I get to see everybody. So we were talking about how we just are really picky about who we give our time and attention and energy to, and about how, you know, we tend to be very loving, supportive people that give and give and give, but in a, you know, in a balanced way, because definitely we take care of ourselves first before we give. But the thing is that we always go the extra mile for people. So it's not so much about the giving, but we go that extra mile. And, you know, in your own life, you know, think about how this works, because it can be very draining to go the extra mile for people, because number one, a lot of times they don't even appreciate it anyway. The truth is, people are only going to be able to receive as much as they can receive. You may know what that means, and you may not really understand that. But people have limitations to the amount that they can receive and the amount they give, given their upbringing, their perspectives, their beliefs. So even if you bent over backwards and just overgave to somebody and went the extra mile, if they're only used to receiving on a small amount, where, you know, they could only appreciate so much, then you're going this extra mile and they're not going to appreciate that anyway. So you're just draining yourself, and it's not doing anything for that person in the way of making a difference, because they can't even receive it. So it's just wasted energy. Then what happens is, a lot of times when you tend to give go that extra mile, and people either take it for granted or, can't receive it and take it for granted, that, you feel unappreciated. And then, what happens is it's not balancing out. So you're like going the extra mile, and energy is always balancing out. That's the universe's big job, is to balance things out. So if someone's only able to receive this much, they can balance out that much. But if you give that much, they can't balance that much. They can only balance this much. So you have this much out of balance. So then you have a deficit, and it affects your life. It really affects your life. It drains your energy. It drains your time. It drains your resources for yourself and other people that you might be able to use it with. And then, it doesn't feel good being taken for granted or anything like that, even if it's really not that person's fault because they don't know how to receive it. You don't even have to go to that place. Another thing that happens really often is when you tend to go the extra mile for somebody and really give, and they just take that for granted, and they don't really care that much. I mean, they might even care. They might care, but they're just like, well, that's what that person does. But then they go and give a lot of time and energy to somebody else. So it's like, you were the one that did all that, but then they go give their time and energy to someone else. So it's really weird how that works. And I've just been noticing with all the shifts that we're going through in our universe, the universe is just shifting and shifting and shifting constantly, like in the last many years. But, we're constantly going through these shifts. We're being asked to decide what level we want to live at and vibrate at. Where do we want to reside in the space that we're in? Like setting boundaries and being really clear about what we want in our lives, and then making sure that we have the people in our lives that align with what we want in our lives. So a lot of people are shedding friendships, shedding being around certain groups or certain people because they feel that out of alignment. And how do you know? The easiest way to tell is when it doesn't feel good. When it just doesn't resonate, it just doesn't feel good. And that could happen to your best friend. That could happen to somebody that you've been hanging out with for many years, but for some reason, either the relationship is no longer fulfilling, it doesn't feel equal, it's not rewarding. You have changed as a person maybe, and you have new, things that you're interested in, and maybe they're not at that place. So you're not matching the energy flow anymore. And so sometimes it's just time to give those kinds of things up. So a really important thing to do is to review your relationships. Review who it is you spend time with, who it is that you are giving your resources, your precious energy. Our energy is so precious. And so who is deserving of that? Because when I say deserving, it's not like, oh, you're deserving and you're not deserving. It's about you first. It's like, what are you, I was just saying for me, like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm just not doing that anymore, whatever that is. I'm not doing that anymore because I need my energy. There's things that I want in my life. There's goals I want to achieve in my life. There's ways that I want to feel in my life. I have a standard of living in my life, and that is an energy drain. That is like, a leak in a tire. It's a leaky drain of energy. And I'm not willing to give that up anymore because I want my energy so I can focus on my stuff and work on my stuff and work at aligning my life with my happiness and my peace and my health or my success, whatever it is. So why would I waste my energy on something that is not even a fulfilling thing when I could be using that energy to become more fulfilled and get to know myself more and nurture myself more and, make it really productive. So it's really important that you think about this because the quality of your life depends on the quality of your life. And you are the only one that can determine what your life is going to look and feel like every day. And if it's not looking and feeling like something that's amazing, something that's fulfilling, something that feels good, then it's time to look around and say, who's in my life? What are these relationships? What is your relationship with yourself? Maybe it's time to change your relationship with yourself. I mean, that's always the number one. But if there's people in your life, if it's just not resonating with you, it's up to you to make a move. It's up to you to decide, I'm not doing this anymore. And then you open up space. What happens is you let go of these energies and it opens up space. And so the stuff that you really want can come in. The relationships that align with you can come in. But that stuff can't come in as long as your space is cluttered with all of these other things that don't even align with you. And in fact, what will happen is you'll end up attracting more into your life that's out of alignment because you have the energies of out of alignment in your space. So you got to clean it up. It's kind of like, you know, if you have food on the table and you never pick up the dishes, like at some point it's going to be full and you're not going to be able to fit anything. And even if you start stacking the dishes up and making room, eventually that's going to fill up too. And then pretty soon you stack it and it goes all the way to the ceiling. And pretty soon you're going to run out of room. Eventually there's just not going to be room at that table anymore. Okay, and so what are you going to do? Sit there and cry about it, whine about it, sit in it, spin in it, feel like crap in it? Or are you going to decide to go take those dishes to the sink and clear off the table? You know, it's really like it's really that easy. So think about what you're stacking up on your table that's taking room in your life, because your time and your energy is precious. That is the most precious commodity that you have, is the time that you can spend on yourself in focusing and aligning with the life that you really want. And as you know, I help my clients understand their lives better so they can have the clarity and confidence to make decisions and life changes that are going to open their life up to, wow, to that place that, you know, many of them only dream of. They don't even know that they can really attain that. So I help them find that roadmap of what's going on with them, because sometimes it's obvious. Sometimes there are very obvious things in your life that you know need changing, but sometimes it's not so obvious. It could be a belief. It could be a DNA things, like a family line thing. It could be a past life thing. There's so many things that could be hanging out in your energy that you don't know that are in your way. And there could be like beliefs that come to just, you know, they hold you back in the biggest ways. So when you can have somebody that can work with you to see those things and help you to say, hey, this is what really needs to be, you know, shifted or moved or cleared, then it opens you up to like those new opportunities to align with what you want and get what you want. And I've done it in my life so many times in huge ways. I've done it in huge ways. So I know how to do it. I know what it takes to do it, and I know where you have to be body, mind, and spirit in order to really do that and be super successful with it. So that's what I love helping people with, and I just love that work. It's just very fulfilling to me, and that's what I do with my clients all the time. So anyway, basically be picky with about the people that you engage yourself with. Make sure that they're high quality people that are going to support and align with you. And if there's any dead weight in there, if there's anyone where you're providing all the value all the time and they are providing no value or very little value, you have to really look at those relationships and say, this is, you know, this is just not a balance. Nice person, love the person, but this is just not a balance, and this is not helping me and it's not helping them. And I have goals, and I have things that I want to get in my life, and I just have to clean up that table in order to be able to put on my table what I really want. I don't want the old, dirty, stacked up dishes. I want the new china with the fresh food, and the change of food every day, if that's what I want, to be there. I don't want to just keep looking at the old stuck food that's sitting on my table, and it's growing and growing and growing and growing and getting moldy and disgusting on the way. Like, nobody needs stagnant energy in your life. If you have stagnation in one area of your life, then your whole life has stagnation in it. How you do anything is how you do everything. So you have to really take the responsibility to look at the relationships, the people in your life, the things you spend time on, and make sure that it's in alignment with what you want for yourself, so you can actually get what you want for yourself. So think about that and clean it up, because the sooner you do, the sooner you can really get on the path to what you really want. So I'll leave it at that. Thank you for joining me. If you liked this video, give me a thumbs up. If you loved it, share it. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you subscribe and click on that bell, which will notify you when I go live or upload a new video. And I will see you tomorrow. Have a great night, and thanks for being here. Much love and many, many, many blessings to all of you. Nice to be here and check in with you again. I know it's been several days, but that's what happens when you're on the road and you got stuff to do. So thank you, and I'll see you guys all tomorrow. Peace out.